Hello, grade 8 learners. My name is Tuto Masudubele, and welcome to our session today. And today we'll be doing exponential equations, grade 8 learners. So without any waste of time, let's get into our lesson for today. That's the outline. I'll be dealing with the introduction, solving exponential equations, as well as the quiz at the end of the lesson today. Now, what are exponential equations, grade 8 learners? As the name suggests, exponential equations involve exponents. We know that the exponent of a number, in this case it being a base, indicates the number of times the base is being multiplied. Therefore, grade 8 learners, an exponential equation is an equation with exponents where the exponent or part of the exponent is a variable. An example of that would be 3 to the power of x equal to 81, or 5 to the power of 2m plus 4 is equal to 625. Now, these are just some of the equations we'll be solving in today's lesson. So make sure you concentrate so that you are able to learn those skills on how to solve exponential equations. Now, here's the first equation, grade 8 learners. We have 3 to the power of x is equal to 9. Now, in order for us to solve this exponential equation, grade 8 learners, is that we need to get the bases to be the same. The bases, we need to get the base of 9 to be the same as the base of 3. So what do we do then? We prime factorize 9. If we prime factorize 9, we'll know that the prime factors of 9 will be 3 multiplied by 3, written as 3 all squared. So in this case, 9 can be expressed as 3 all squared. Now realize that we now have equal bases or the same bases on both sides of the equation. Now, once the bases are the same, grade 8 learners, all you need to do is to now equate the exponents. Realize that the exponent on the left-hand side of the equation is x, and the exponent on the right-hand side of the equation is 2. So what we do is that we simply equate the exponents, and by doing that, we would have found the value of x. So therefore, x will be equal to 2. So that's the secret, grade 8 learners, when it comes to solving exponential equations. It's all about getting the bases to be the same and then equating the exponents. Now, here's a second equation, grade 8 learners, a second exponential equation that we are required to solve. Now, remember, you need to get the bases on both sides of the equation to be equal. Now, realize that on the right-hand side of the equation, we have 1. So how can we express 1? 1 can be expressed as 2 to the power of 0. As you know that any base to the power of 0 is equal to 1, provided that base is not equal to 0. So in other words, 0 to the power of 0 is not equal to 1. But any other base except for 0 that is raised to the power of 0 will always give you 1. So 1 can be expressed as 2 to the power of 0. Now realize that we have bases that are the same on both sides of the equation. And now what needs to happen? All you need to do is to equate your exponents, and therefore x will be equal to 0. Now here's a third equation that we need to solve, grade 8 learners. So not all variables will be given in terms of x. So remember, a variable can represent any letter of the alphabet. So to break the monotony, the variable here in this equation is k. Now in this case, we need to find the value of k. Now how do we find the value of k? If you realize here, we are raising a power to another power. Now it's quite important that you remember your laws of exponents. When you raise a power to another power, what we do is that you multiply the exponents. So 2 multiplied by k will give us 2k. And 125 can also be expressed as 5 to the power of 3. So therefore, we'll have 5 to the power of 2k equal to 5 to the power of 3. Now, once the bases are the same, like in this example here, we have a base of 5 in the right-hand side of the equation and a base of 5 on the left-hand side of the equation. What do we need to do, grade 8 learners? Yes, we need to equate the exponents. So we need to equate 2k equal to 3. So once we've equated our exponents, realize that grade 8 learners, we have not isolated for our variable. Now, how do we isolate for the variable in this case? Realize that k has a coefficient of 2. So how do we get rid of that coefficient of 2? And yes, we multiply both sides with the multiplicative inverse of 2. What's the multiplicative inverse of 2, grade 8 learners? And you know that the multiplicative inverse is a half. So you multiply both sides by a half in order for us to isolate for k. And by doing that, the value of k will be 3 divided by 2, or 1.5. Good. Now let's look at the fourth example, grade 8 learners. What we have here is 7 multiplied by 3 to the power of m is equal to 21. And again, we need to find the value of m. It's an exponential equation because the variable that we're trying to find is the exponent of base 3. So how then do we do this, grade 8 learners? What we need to do, we need to isolate the base and its exponent. So in order for us to do that, we need to get rid of the coefficient of 7. So that factor of 7 that's been multiplied with 3 to the power of m, we need to get rid of it. But in mathematics, you simply don't get rid of something magically. What we need to do is that we need to multiply both sides with the multiplicative inverse of 7. And again, what's the multiplicative inverse of 7, grade 8 learners? And you will know that it's 1/7, or a seventh. So you multiply both sides with a seventh. And by doing that, we'll be left with 3 to the power of m is equal to 3. Now, once the bases are the same, we need to equate the exponents. Now, some of you might be asking, what's the exponent of 3 in this case? Because it's not explicitly being indicated. The exponent of 3 is 1. So remember, if the exponent is not indicated along with the base, then that exponent is 1. So therefore, once the bases are the same, remember we equate the exponents, so the value of m will be equal to 1. Now let's quickly proceed with the fifth one. We have 2 to the power of 3x over 4 to the power of x equal to 16. What we need to do, we need to express the base of 4 as a base of 2, and the base of 16 as well can be expressed as a base of 2, and that can be given as 2 to the power of 3x over 2 to the power of 2x is equal to 2 to the power of 4. So what we've done, we've changed the base of 4 and the base of 16. And then we apply the laws of exponents. Remember, when you divide powers with the same base, you keep the base and you subtract exponents. So that is why we have 2 to the power of 3x minus 2x equal to 2 to the power of 4. And 3x and 2x are both like terms, and they will simplify to 2 to the power of x equal to 2 to the power of 4. And realize here, grade 8 learners, that we have powers, we have equal base sides of the equation. So therefore, all we need to do is to equate the exponents. Now with that, grade 8 learners, it brings us to the end of our lesson. That's the QR code for our quiz, 5 questions in the quiz, and that's the link to the quiz as well. Give it your best, and good grade 8 learners with your mathematics. All the best.